Hello and welcome to Brilliance Today, where individuals let their brilliance shine through their stories, expertise and philosophy because they're on a mission to make a difference and leave a legacy. Introducing Brenda Dempsey, publisher, speaker and TV presenter. Get ready to be inspired.
Hello and welcome to another session of Brilliance Today. Who is behind every great woman? Would you like to know? I'm going to tell you, it's another great woman. And I've got a great woman here today because this is the Voice of Women series. And I am in such a privileged situation where I am able to interview amazing leaders from around the world. And the leader and amazing woman I have with me today is, I don't know if I'll get her surname right, but we'll try, is Tiba Al Khalidy. Is that correct, Tiba?
That's right.
Oh my goodness, I'm not too bad at reading people's names, but hey-ho, there we go. So hi Tiba, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for coming along and sharing your voice of women with myself and the world. And so let's get started and tell us who you are, what you do, and why you're passionate about what it is that you do.
Right, who am I? So I'm Tiba Al Khalidy. I am Iraqi British, been living in the UK for the last 30 years. I came to the UK, it wasn't a choice, it was because of the war and the political situation in Iraq. So I studied in Iraq engineering, came to the UK, couldn't find a job, just to graduate. I couldn't find a job as an engineer at that time, 30 years ago. In engineering, my specialty mechanic. And yeah, so I was looking for a job, but then I found it's all accountants, everywhere you see is accounting job, accountancy. Then I asked how to become an accountant, and I went and I studied accountancy and business studies in university to become an accountant. On the journey to become an accountant, I started my first business when I was in university, and that business grew, and the journey of entrepreneur started. Finishing university, I didn't go straight away to practice my accountancy because I was doing it just for my business. The business grew for 15 years. And then after that, I sold the business. So that is how I learned that businesses you can grow a business from zero and you can sell it. And I went and I started a second business, and also I practiced my accountancy. Finally, I went and I worked in a practice, and that is the journey of starting my practice as an accountant. On the way, I was being accountant consultant for other companies, and I start my journey for coaching. On the way of journey for coaching, I discovered it's not about business, it's about the business owner. And that's when I went and I invested my time for 5 years to study coaching. So until I reached to the highest of study in postgraduate executive coaching to become the coach who I can serve the best leaders in the world. And that's who I am. Who I work with? I work with business owner, business leaders. I empowered women, help them to be in their element and in their full power, because it's for some reason. Well, we know the reasons. Women don't step in their full power, and always finding a reason of we stepping back, but we are supporting everyone. But we don't remember that is we are first, and then we can support anyone else. So that's what I do. That's who I am. And yes.
Wow. Wow. A woman of many talents, it seems, for sure. And what a journey. And I'm sure on another podcast, we can dig a bit deeper into your actual story. But I think you've said enough for people to start um, creating what life must have been like for you all those years ago. But what it definitely shows me is a woman that's got resilience, a woman that's determined, committed, sets a goal and achieves a goal. Wow, there's some of the great traits for leaders today. So tell us a little bit more about, I like to look at when people transition. So tell us a bit more detail around you transitioning from accountancy into coaching, because coaching is obviously your passion and what fuels you. So tell us what that was like for you as a woman, the decisions that you had to make, why you made them, and where that's leading you to today.
Thank you, Brenda. It's a really good question. It's actually, there is an age of you reach, and that's when I reach in my 40. It was like, so what? I did the business I want. I achieved everything I wanted. I raised my children now, start to like, they are not babies anymore. So I did all these things, but then I found it's actually what is next. I was looking for purpose, because the purpose before, it was like having a family, establish my life in the UK as as coming from a refugee, and I was just the vision. I wanted to have whatever I left back in Iraq, I want to create it here. Then I did achieve. Is not easy. It's difficult. Worked many hours. Yeah, it was 16 hours is normal to work during that time, because I was always developing and work, earning money and study. So it wasn't just building the wealth of money, it was building the knowledge. And yeah, so in my 40s, it was like to search what is my next purpose. And it wasn't easy to find it. I invested a lot of money with coaches, and some coaches they were brilliant and they helped me and mentor to find my purpose. But on the way, I met a bad coaches and mentor. They didn't help me, and
Yeah.
I could call them as a scam. They were scammers. So, but they were brilliant coaches and mentor, helped me to find my purpose and who I want to be in this life, and to continue the journey for the rest of my life.
Mm, wow. And you do get to a point, middle ages, actually, you think you're young, you've lived life, you've done things and you've been caught up in it. And for many women, it's about having children and raising their children and trying to be everything, trying to be a wife, a mother, a partner, a business owner, or working. You've got so many hats you wear, you're juggling so many balls. But then it's when, and your children do give you purpose, so for 20 years or so of my bringing up my own 4 children, it was all about them. It was all about them, giving them the best. And then I finally got a bit of time myself. But then you do get to a point, empty nester. I don't know that you're quite, I think you're kind of on the road to that, aren't you? And when you become an empty nester, I remember I was a single parent and my final child left for uni and the others were all gone, my youngest. And I remember sitting many a Saturday evening and I would just sit there and burst out crying. I'm thinking, is this my life? Because all confidence had gone because my marriage had broken up, etc., etc. But you do get to that point and you do question, well, what am I going to do now? Fortunately for me, I had teaching and I had wanted to be a teacher. But then this is what I've learned in life. You do outgrow things. You're like, I'm going to hold this up. This is a dragonfly. And a dragonfly is a beautiful creature. It's mystical. But I don't know if many people know that a dragonfly sheds its skin up to 12 times before it becomes a dragonfly. It's a nymph. And when I was researching about dragonflies, and I thought, do you know what? A butterfly goes into the darkness, a cocoon, and comes out beautiful, and it's got the wings. But I think as humans, we shed many layers as we get to know ourselves.
Yeah.
So when you do get to middle age, you do wake up one day and you go, well, what's life all about? And what am I going to do? And certainly I know from women, and that's why we've got Voices of Women on Female Leadership. Women seem to always need that purpose more than males. Now, I'm sure we'll get some men telling me that's a load of rubbish, and I'm sure it is to a point. But being a woman myself and knowing many, many women, and given that women birth the children and raise them, there's many fantastic dads, but you do need a purpose, and you're right. And sometimes the job you've been doing, like I'd been teaching, it began to be unfulfilling.
Yeah.
So it's a transformation. So how would you say, talking about transformation, as we talked about transitioning, so transformation, how would you say you've transformed from being the accountant to being the coach?
Right. Being an accountant is a very supportive as well as a accountant, a support business owner, and I work with business owner to help them to understand their business and help them to grow their business financially. But being a coach is not just working on the business. Being a coach is helping them to grow, and that is where it is actually I feel it is. Yeah, I'm supporting them more. Still, my background of accountancy and other that financial skills I have still up to this moment is being used, and yeah, I'm still supporting my client, but I'm giving them more.
But Tiba, sorry to interrupt you, but I want to know, and I think the listeners will want to know, because you've come through so many things and you've transitioned so many things, but each time you transition, you grow. So how have you, maybe I'll change my wording, how have you grown from being an accountant into the coach? And what have you honed that you know is like 3 skills you must have, or 3 traits that you must have as a business owner?
That's a good question. Good. Well, as is like first and most is holding the space together. That is it. I'm always jumping, helping. Now I hold myself to let them. Yeah. Let them. So that is one. Second, it's I think it's and that's why when my children, they said I have changed completely. It's not me. I'm not the same person 8 years ago, as I'm going through the journey of being a coach. It's understanding the being of a human.
Love it.
We are so different. Each one of us, as a book, there is no book as when you're putting the number of a book, you are a publisher. We are, with our codes, we are so different. But the problem is our societies and family as well, parents and religion, is making us all, we need to follow the same things. To change this code, then why don't we keep our code and be ourselves? So that is the being.
I love it.
There is a list, because I don't know now when you ask me this question, there is things jumping on me. I don't know. But it's the being. Please be you, be your authentic you, as you meant to be. And we don't choose our career or the life we want to live because of to prove to other people who we are. We are enough as we are, as who we are. And that is finding a purpose is very important. In every stage in our life, there is purpose or purposes. So living with purposes, that the fulfillment. And that's why we are feeling happy from the inside. Purposes. Identity. I was bullied because at work, I work in all my life, 6 years and a half as an employee. They talk about my accent. My accent is, because it's Iraqi, I learned English in Iraq. So I've got an accent, Iraqi accent with my English, which, you know what? I love it. I can change it, but I do love it. That is my identity. I am British Iraqi or Iraqi British. Now I lived in the UK more than in Iraq. So I say British Iraqi, but I love what I brought from Iraq is in me. And whatever as well, my ancestor, what they gave me and what I inherited. And also I grew up here as a confident woman in the UK. Without that, what I have here, that support and feeling that safety, I wouldn't be me.
Wow. I love it. And you've we talked about transformation, and the listeners will have actually heard your transformation. And if anybody's watching this video, they'll see your transformation. So you went from thinking, trying to make sense of what I was asking you, and then something clicked, and then out came the real Tiba, the passionate woman of what she believes in, who she is. Wow, wow, wow. And that's what we want. We want to hear that energy and see that and feel it. And it's phenomenal. Thank you very much for letting Tiba out, because Tiba, that's who you fall in love with, your authentic self. And as you said, you've met coaches along the way and people along the way who profess to be one thing, but when you actually start working with them, you realize, wait a minute, why am I paying them all this money? So that's another lesson and another discussion. Anyway, let's just move into leadership now. So in your eyes and in Tiba's world, what do you consider to be an effective modern leader, female leader?
Yeah. First is first. Believe in ourselves. That's first. Second, take the position. We are leading. Everyone is a leader. Why we leave the space for Mel? I have nothing against Mel. I've got beautiful son, and I've got beautiful brother and husband. But let's take our position. Now is the time for women. 30 years ago, I couldn't be in the gym where is all the heavy weight lifting. Now I can go to the gym. There is no problem with that. So taking our position. Third, take responsibility. We are able of taking this responsibility. Why we leave it? As I see, even leaders now is like whatever happening around the world, and we're seeing like there is no leaders, and that's with all honesty. 15 years ago there was leaders, but now there is no leaders. Yeah, and they don't want to take responsibility. Well,
no, exactly.
You lead a country or you lead a place, you need to be able to be responsible. When you take a decision, think of that decision. What will happen after that? So taking responsibility.
Yeah,
not putting the country
absolutely.
in trouble, putting the company in trouble, and then leave it to be. That what I would say is being able to respond and thinking is actually what will happen after I'm taking this decision.
Yeah, consequences of your action. And that's not always thought through fully, or people are people's perceptions are a bit clouded, you know. They can't face the reality, so they paint another world. But yeah, but for me, you know, like women, there's certain things about feminine energy that I'm not saying men don't have it, they do, and I'm very blessed in my role as a publisher to have worked with and met amazing men who have transformed and stepped into their feminine energy and absolutely embraced it. You know, so it's about the yin and the yang. It's about, we need masculine and feminine energy. We need the traits. We can't be too sort of feminine and wishy-washy. You know, that's not going to work. But women can't either step in to be more like men and come from a very ego place. That doesn't work either. You know, so those feminine traits are really important. So how do you use your feminine gifts and qualities in your work and in your leadership?
My caring and kindness, that's what I do. I care about everyone I get in touch with. I am kind with everyone. And I'm kind to myself as well. So that is how I do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes a long way, a little bit of kindness. You know, it reminds me of a little story that I taught a young woman, and I gave her the little story, and you could see the penny dropping. And it's this, you know, I don't know about you, Tiba, but when you were growing up, did you ever hear people say to you, oh, they're just taking advantage of you, or they're just using you, or, you know, that kind of thing? And, you know, my mother, she drilled that into me as a child, you know, don't help people, they'll just take a len of you. That's a good Scottish way of saying they take advantage, you know. And but for somehow that didn't resonate with me. And then it was going through coaching and probably listening to a whole lot of different people, you know, and reading along the way. And then one day, I wish I could remember exactly, but I realized, I think I must have listened to somebody who was spiritual. I realized that people aren't taking advantage of you. If you flip the lens and you see as they need you, there's something in you that's lacking in them that they need, which will be kindness, will be understanding, which will be all those very soft but highly titanium power skills that they don't possess. So they might need you to, I don't know, maybe they've asked you to go somewhere because their friends can't go, but they want to go. Oh, I'll just ask her anyway, but maybe they're not the real friend. And I think when you start to change the lens around viewing, if people do you, well, you've got the choice. You can either let them use you or not. But if you do, think about it as, I'm helping them. I've got something that they've not got. I've got something they've not got the courage to actually face and admit that it's lacking within them. I mean, I told this young girl that, she totally changed, and she never then felt let down or used, but she stepped into a power and felt empowered. And she had the last laugh, you know. You've actually got the power over the person that thinks they're using you, you know, because you know better. And that's what I would say about that. Anyway, let's go to Voice of Women. I just thought I would share that. What do you think of that story, Tipper?
It's a beautiful story. Beautiful story. You know what? I just want to add this. It's so beautiful when you see those people, they want to use you, and you know they are using you. And you give them what they want. And you show them that I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it as what you want. But it's so beautiful. I know what you want, but it's okay, take it. Because you know what? You don't have what I'm giving you.
Exactly. It's a gift. Oh, I've got goosebumps. We're speaking divine truth there. It's the gift. And other people outside will go, oh, they're just using you. you know, because they don't understand. That's the thing. They've not got that level of awareness. Anyway, so let's turn to Voices of Women. So Voices of Women is our anthology coming out in July. And it's filled with amazing women like yourself, Tiba, who've got fantastic stories and leadership, and how they are leading the way in a new way so that the world can grow. So what is your voice? What do you want the world to hear, the message that you've got to leave?
Let's lead the way and lighting other people's life. That's the only thing. Let's light other people's life.
Yeah,
Please do not make
absolutely.
it darker as just lighten it. That's what I would say, the message.
Love it, love it. It's funny that you said leading the way. On my personal brand, it's got lead the way with ripples. See, we know each other. So, well, you didn't know that about me, so I haven't divulged it yet. It's something that I'm doing in the background at the moment. But there you go. You see, so we're connected. That's the thing. All the ladies in Voice of Women are all connected. So why did you say yes to being in Voices of Women?
It's basically because of the mission you explain about it. So so I bought into your values in line with my values, and that's why I say yes.
Oh, thank you very much. And that's the whole thing, isn't it? Because we're founding members of the Voice of Women movement. Women are here to change the world. And it's time that we step into that power. We've always known it, but we've been afraid. Although we've had some amazing women come before us for the last hundreds of years, millennia, but there's not been enough of us, you know, because, you know, culturally, many women are still very downtrodden for religious. I don't even know what to say to that, actually, you know, but religiously they are suppressed, and they're forbidden still to do certain things. But that's changing, and that's changing in a lot of countries. Thank God, you know, for that is what I say, or thank goodness, as I say. And I think when we come together and we link arms and we collaborate and we lift each other up, then we can create those beautiful ripples of brilliance, is what I call them. Because you talked about the light, I call the light brilliance. And it's that play on word within us. It's the light, it's our genius, it's our gifts, it's the purpose of why we are who we are, and why we're on this earth, and what legacy we're going to leave behind. So Tiba, thank you very much. Thank you for being kind and caring and gentle, but strong and resilient, and all the things that we've learned about you in this last, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes or so. So I want to leave you with the last word. What would you say to future generation of young women?
Please, please be you and be confident, and you are enough as the way you are. So,
Oh, thank you very much. So there we have it, another Brilliance Today Voice of Women series episode podcast done, and I can't wait to share this with the world, Tiba. So thank you very much. Keep tuning in. There's more amazing women's stories you need to hear. Come and connect with them. Tiba, how can people connect with you?
they can find me on social media. I'm in LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. They can email me, my website, tibaalkhalidy.com. I'm here.
Good. And we will put all of that information written in the copy that will accompany this amazing interview, so people can reach out and connect with you. I'm sure many people will resonate with your story, and they will want to come and have that chat, and who knows where that will take you. So until the next time, this is Brenda saying, be brilliant, much love, and to the pit.
Thank you very much.
That's it for this episode of Brilliance Today. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. For more information or to contact Book Brilliance Publishing, visit bookbrilliancepublishing.com. And remember, do different. Be brilliant.